The next thing I want to talk about is the design. Also the how also use talk about the function of this design, which is by function is not just like okay we can see I cover a metal plate on the building. So yeah, it could be by function. I'm in the practical function of this could be like maybe there's a lot of mechanism behind it. So or maybe it's a supporting structure. There the but the real function that I want to talk about is the function for composition. So let's check about the let me turn off this. You can see there's a lot of information which it is what Kibash can bring us, which is a very rich detail. It is very cool detail and a cool pattern, but sometimes we want to tone it down a little bit. And by doing this, we can adding, for example, for me, it's like I'm doing a quite brutalism way, which is directly splash a plate on it. And as you can see, this when we do this is also because the reason I want to reduce the information, it is because this is on the edges of the composition. So I don't want the place on those uh, um, to be too overwhelming, to be too crowded with too many detail. I want those plays to be simple and very easy to read. Um, yeah, but also uh, this kind of design decision actually really changing the shape and form language of the building into a more brutalism feeling because it used to be it's just like a regular skyscraper creeper, the kind of glass advanced fancy office building. It's like a very chill place people can shopping and walking inside. But now it's covered by this very heavy brutal metal plates. It's becoming very cruel and clueless and becoming too rational, like you kind of don't get the idea like why they are what it is anymore. But it is not actually it is also very interesting idea for us to just be aware, which is this is actually fit our genre, right? Cyberpunk is also could be creating this kind of sci-fi structure to cover the existing structure. But of course, in the real job, when we got a briefing from the client, usually we cannot do this kind of thing, which is, we feel like something is too crowded, too overwhelming, so we just replace it with another thing. It's something we cannot do because our job is solving the problem, but not to ignore those problems or cover those problems. But another way to cover too many detail, of course, it is I previously showing it is atmosphere like this. By atmosphere perspective, we reduce the contract of the value, so it will tone it down a lot of noisy detail. It is another way. So also that's why I think using 3D is just really great way to creating concept art because sometimes some design we really need all those information be there, like we must have lighting, we must have all the contrast, all the texture. Must make sure this picture already very much looks like a final video game or final movie, so it's going to be easier and make sense for the client or the creative director or the art director. They can read it, because some information just very difficult to read. If you just isolating the information with maybe a sketch on the paper, it sometimes just we need everything. We need everything to see is this affectable or not, and also it's going to be easy to read. I think it's going to be because client or the team, whole production team, they are not they are coming from different background, and not everyone are artists, or they get used to they are more used to see the picture that could be easier or close to the final product rather than just napkin sketch that would be too abstract for a lot of team member or for a lot of client. So Yeah, but of course that's a different story. What I'm trying to say is like for now, the reason I coming out of this idea of giant metal plate cover a lot of things is because I feel some areas too noisy. Uh, Also, but of course, this kind of idea giving us a chance to design a new language for sure. But of course, in the real world, the real project, sometimes we cannot do that. And so, yeah, we need coming out of other solution.